everybody, my name is Whip and welcome to a brand new video here that we have coming out on the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the new Minecraft 1.14 village remakes that Mojang has been working on so much over the last few months. I've been really loving watching all the progress with these, and I haven't really played with them yet. So in today's video, I want to take a look at them and see how that we can go about improving them with a focus on defending from these guys. Those dirty old pillagers coming through. They kill all of the awesome villagers that we have now with their amazing new skins and everything. They're so much more useful now than we've ever really had before. They have everything they could ever need. Looking around their entire village, they have so much life in here. There's so much going there that you can see right in front of us. But we'll get back to that guy here in just a second. Taking a look at the rest of these, you can see all these amazing new farms and just how everything here looks so much more natural. Before, everything was very, very grid-like, I feel like, in the villages, and now there's a lot more going on to them. There's a lot more shape, and I feel like the general size of them has actually increased as well. But overall, very happy to see where everything is going here. We can see these really cool villagers with their brand new skins, everything like that. They just look so much more intelligent, and they make the same old sounds, which is just perfect. But we got all these guys in here. Now for the problem. Pillagers here can shoot over regular walls, and beyond that, there's no real way for us to really defend anything. So we want to go ahead and break down these walls and really come back in here, and today we're going to be focused on building up a brand new type of wall. What I want to go for with this guy is going for more of like a hedge tactic, something that'd be like a giant wall of leaves that we could use to stop the pillagers invading. We're going to be using the fences in here for something very important that we'll come back to later, but the block I really wanted to highlight in this is that new berry bush. Because if you're walking through a berry bush, you're actually going to be taking damage for it. So if we go in and throw a bunch of berry bushes out in front of here, make it look very natural, all the pillagers who are going to walk up into the wall are actually going to be taking damage while they're trying to get inside. So this is actually a way that we can go about defending our village here. We have all these oak leaves in here, and it looks a little plain with all the oak leaves, so I do want to go ahead and throw in a few birch leaves just to make things a little bit more interesting as we're going throughout. But overall, I think we can go ahead and tackle a giant hedge wall pattern going throughout this entire place here, and it could actually look really cool. Looking through the forest itself, though, you can see here that it actually blends in pretty dang well with the surrounding area. It doesn't stand out too much in it. You only really see it right when you get up next to the wall, which is really what I want to have, like this hidden village in here. This kind of helps hide the village, protects things a little bit more, and maybe we can ward off those pillagers because they won't even be able to find what they're trying to get to in here. Now, we have all these fancy walls of hedges going all over the place, but we need to have some sort of a gatehouse. I want to go ahead and build like a simple wooden gate here, kind of like a big wooden door, similar to what you see actually in the first Lord of the Rings movie, the Fellowship of the Ring, when they're going to that first town after running away from the ring race and everything like that. I don't know, random reference in here. But I kind of wanted to embody that front wooden doorway that they walk through to get into the town there. So what we're going to be doing here is just creating two platforms on the side and then bringing in some spruce trapdoors in the center so that we can create a little bit of a doorway in here. After all, we do want to go ahead and keep in all of these leaves that we've been using to really make it feel really green. I tried playing with the idea of having it opened up at first. Then the more I thought about it, I was like, that's probably not the best idea because our goal here is to block pillagers and keep them out. So obviously, we want to go ahead and block them out. So we're going to be using a door right there so that we can actually get in and out of this place. And it blends in really well, seeing as it's that spruce texture in there. So it really helps us out here. And then I want to go ahead and find a few more ways that we can throw in other 1.14 blocks throughout this area. So, of course, throwing in some lanterns, just adding a little bit of extra detail throughout it. And just all this extra depth throughout the entire place. You can see so much really is kind of trying to keep this style in with what the villagers have inside their place. I didn't want to over detail this. I feel like a lot of things that you see people doing village remakes that really overdo it. They really go crazy with completely changing it up, which has its own cool feeling to it. But I wanted to really focus on something here that could actually naturally spawn with a Minecraft village. Might be a little difficult to generate these really smooth lines that we're creating here with that hedge wall. But overall, I think this is a pretty solid gatehouse. You can see there's just a lot of it blends in really well with the wall, and it's really small and kind of quaint so that the villagers can actually easily defend on it, walk through it, all the good stuff. And I really like it overall. It makes sense here at the front. You can see the back of the gate coming in here. We just have a few ways for villagers easily go up to the top, so if they can defend or find something that they can use to throw down at the pillagers who are attacking them, they have a way to kind of get that upper advantage, really looking down on top of everybody. And I thought this was just a cool way that we could go ahead and create some way for villagers in here. You can see I did add in a second door. We have some lanterns on the inside to help stop some mobs from spawning in there. And overall, super excited with this guy. I brought in a few more details here, adding in some of our note block crates through the texture pack I use, then also some barrels up by the front. Maybe it looks like some people are trying to station some goods that they can be using to get inside of the village to trade with the villagers in here. And so this gate is actually also blocking out traders, holding people in and out of the place. And you can see I threw some item frames up here on the top because I figure, you know, if the pillagers have crossbows, our villagers need some as well. We got a fletching table down there so that they can be making their arrows, repairing them, and 2 crossbows up to the top so that our villagers can jump up there, grab their weapons, and fire back against the pillagers. Overall, I thought this turned out to be really cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this style of it, but we do have a lot more that we can go ahead and add onto this area. After all, this is just one gate. We have so much more space to be working with. The rest of the village needs to be defended. We have so much other stuff throughout here, but you can kind of see the general plans of everything, where people would be able to defend from. Yes, the villagers can walk up to the top and actually fall down on the outside. Saw that happen quite a few times, but overall, I think it's okay. I think that if the villagers fall outside, they kind of deserve to get beaten up a little bit. Coming down the hedge wall right here, going all the way up to our mountain face, just variety to it. There are a few places where pillagers could jump up over the top, but actually through some testing, I threw a villager on one side and a bunch of pillagers on the other. The berry bushes actually kept them out for the most part. They never really jumped up over the top of it. I'm not really sure if that's intended or if that'll stay consistent, but overall, found that out, thought that was very, very cool. But there's pretty much everything that we can see as far as this section of the wall. I think what we can go ahead and do now, though, guys, is kick this up a notch here. You guys got the idea of what everything's going to be looking like. So it's probably time that we want to go ahead and see what it would look like. Now we got our pillagers up here at the front. They are attacking the wall, and we got a problem here. The pillager beast can destroy leaves. But I think we can write that off as a positive. I didn't think about this going into it, but if the pillager beast is over here destroying all the leaves, he would be able to just walk right through the wall here. As you can see, our pillagers, like I was talking about, they're just dying right there. They're not actually jumping over, and they die in the berry bushes, so it works out great. But that pillager beast, because we added those fences underneath, you could actually show where the pillager beast himself is actually like causing some issues with the wall, where they're attacking from. Now we can maybe strengthen that bit up a little bit later, but there's the whole village. There is another shot. We can see that I cleared out a bunch of trees here, so we have an idea of where that wall is going to be going. And then I want to go ahead from here and really move into creating walls around the rest of this village, creating walls around everything, so we can really have that defensive part built up into this so that it can look really strong throughout here. Speed this up. All of these guys are going in throughout here. We're marking out our areas for everything. The hedge wall's coming together, using the fences to help keep those pillager beasts out because they can only walk through the leaves. They can't walk through the fences. So whenever we see an area where a bunch of leaves are destroyed, that means a pillager beast came through. So obviously we want to go ahead and try and defend that area a little bit more. We've got to get some ideas that we can use in there to maybe throw in a guard tower, maybe throw in extra little bits throughout this whole place. But overall, really happy with how everything came out on this. The wall itself is very natural, kind of just eases along with the landscape. I didn't really try and do a whole lot to mix things up throughout this place. I like that general, just natural look of this, just barely kind of just going around the perimeter of the village. Yeah, there's a few houses that are actually trigger. And so all these walls are actually basically directly on the line for where that bad omen buff was triggering, because you have to get into the center of the village, which means, as far as I know, the pillagers would stand on the outside of it. So I think we're okay with where we're at right now. A few villagers are out on the outside, but they can run inside. They can run inside their homes. They can run inside the village itself to be defended behind the wall. So they pay the price by wanting to live outside with that cheaper real estate. But you can see here that we're throwing in another gate. We're going to be throwing in 2 more of our gates here, so we have 3 entrances to the village overall. I want to have just a few more areas for us. One of them is actually going to be built up into the house right there that you can see. This one I struggled with, trying to recreate everything. I really struggled for some reason with those doors. Overall, very happy with where this guy's going so far. You can see all the general things with the leaves coming in. We're using those fences underneath the platforms themselves kind of as a brace point, but also bringing in the leaves and kind of making it look like the leaves are growing off of something. Overall worked out really, really well. Now you can see the final product here of we're walking around the entire, or flying around the entire village here with that wall completed. I think this actually looks pretty cool. It looks really natural in my opinion, which is exactly what I like to go for. So overall, I'm really happy with this guy, but it's a little kind of plain and boring in between the different areas. of the walls. So obviously we want to be able to come back in here and add some extra life into it, add some extra detail. So that's where I came up with the idea for throwing in a guard tower. I did want to go ahead and throw in a guard tower up on the upper cliff faces. I figured the point up here would actually be a really good overlook area, so I wanted to go ahead and clear out a few more trees up here, create a general area. There was actually a house up here that's kind of hidden behind the trees right there that we'll see in a little bit, or you might have caught it already, but part of the village actually extended up into here. So I thought this was a perfect place to throw in a really simple guard tower. Took some inspiration here from actually the pillager outpost, just slightly for the shape of the roof and kind of how everything is working, because I thought that the pillagers are so similar to the villagers that I want to kind of have similar elements to tie them together a little bit. So the way that the roof slopes up here is actually really similar to how the pillager outpost roof slopes up. And I basically destroyed all the stone bits to it and just created kind of open air outpost type thing that you could easily just walk up. Basically, they threw it together just as a higher up viewing point, just so we can have some extra things going on here. But overall, really happy with how this guy turned out. We threw in some polished andesite just to get a little bit of extra gray in there. There's the house. There's a villager. He might be the guy who manages all this stuff. But anyways, that is pretty much going to do it for today, guys. We did go ahead and throw in some extra little details throughout here. We got another crossbow up top, so this guy, maybe if he's a sniper or something like that, he can nail somebody from super far away and actually help with the defense. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of let's build type episode where we came through the Spruce Village here, took basically the idea for a wall around the village and turned it into this awesome hedge wall. I had so much fun building up this guy. I'm really happy to see where villages go in the future. If you guys enjoy this type of stuff, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I am very excited to look into doing the other villages as well, coming up with unique wall designs for every single type of village, seeing what we can do to help defend those guys. So if you guys have ideas for what we can do in the other villages, let me know that down in the comments below. And beyond that, guys, please hit that like button. It really means a lot to me. If you guys are enjoying everything going on here on the channel so far, please hit that subscribe button if you are new as well. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.